this morning. They're going to record, but they've submitted their questions to me, and I'm just going to read them off to you, and we'll just roll down through through all the questions. First one, with 4 wins and 10 top 10s and 16 races, you've had some strong seasons before, but is this perhaps the best team you've ever had?
Well, from week to week, I would say so. I mean, I don't see any reason why we probably shouldn't have won about the last 4 or 5 in a row, other than Martinsville. Just really strong. I mean, we go to the racetrack. I'm confident we got a race-winning car, and that's something that's it doesn't come by every day or every season. You always have ups and downs, and I still feel like as an organization we're going to continue to get better. We're not at our optimum level yet, but I think our 11 team is kind of running on as high as it can right now.
How difficult is it to bounce back after a finish like you had Sunday at Indy?
Well, it's not hard. I mean, we've done it many times. Like when we have disappointment, whether it be Bristol, when I kind of gave a win away there with 10 laps to go, and then going out there in Miami and winning, or Martinsville where we ran awful, and then bam, we go out to Miami and win. So it's just we find a way to put the past behind us and move on. And certainly there's plenty of disappointment to go around for last week. My immediate 24-hour reaction was I was more upset about Indy than I was Miami losing the championship in Miami last year. It's just the circumstances were different, and just sitting there kind of riding with 7 laps to go, leading it. It's you just got to make laps and get to the finish. And so it was disappointing to say the least, especially that's one of those 3 things, between the championship, Brickyard, and Coke 600 that I would have got to check off the list. So that was an important one that we hated to let go.
What was your reaction when you heard the All-Star Race was moving to Bristol?
Well, certainly I love the venue change. I think that it's going to be exciting, especially, it's a short format. You got to be ready. You're going to have to push each and every lap. So it's going to be exciting. You're likely to see a Bristol of old where guys are fighting for the bottom. If the sticky stuff is put down, we won't run enough laps really to wear it out. So it's going to be a pretty dominant bottom groove. It's just a matter of who can get down there and really make some time. So I think that we'll have a great shot at it. I love it being on a short track and think it's a fitting place for it.
You won the All-Star Race in 2015. What do you remember from that night?
Well, I just remember, we got the pole from, I believe it was the Pit Crew Challenge that year. And I remember coming on pit road, I think 4th or 5th, and the pit crew getting me out first. And just the excitement that they had. We knew we had a great car. We just needed to get out front in front of Harvick. And once we were, it's just our car took off and was extremely fast. And so it was fun to be able to win that one. That was a special one to win. And, we'd like to do it at least one more time.
What do you think the biggest challenge will be for this All-Star Race, the change of venue to Bristol or the fact that it's in the middle of the week with a quick turnaround?
Well, I think we're used to the middle of the week stuff right now. I think the biggest challenge would be, going back to Bristol. I don't know that it'll be more of a challenge than Charlotte. We both raced them relatively, not too long ago. So, I think the teams adapt so well nowadays. We obviously knew we were very strong there during the Food City race. So, I think that we're going to be pretty optimistic that we can go there and win.
With no points on the line, how intense do you expect the All-Star Race to be at Bristol?
It's going to be intense for sure, and especially someone that's within bumper's reach of the car in front of them. So I think you just need to put yourself in position and see how things play out. We saw there in the spring race that guys were not afraid to run into each other and for the race win, and certainly I think you need to be around. Even if you're not up front, you're going to need to be just in proximity to be able to capitalize.
You've got a couple of night race victories at Bristol. How special would it be to win the first All-Star race at Bristol?
It would be very, very awesome. It's something that it's one of those big marquee events that each driver wants to win. and we don't take it lightly for sure.
What are your thoughts on the choose rule?
I love the choose rule. I think that's going to be a great experiment. At that track, it'll be the most challenging at that track of all tracks, simply because of the how small it is, and you got to make a decision right before you go green. So if it's successful there, I definitely would like to see it implemented at future races for sure.
As a race fan, do you have a favorite memory of the All-Star Race and its 35-year history?
I mean, there were so many. Probably from my perspective, it was kind of watching the cars all go run into the rain at Charlotte into turn one and all crash, and watching everyone prepare their cars and to go out there and put their backup cars on the racetrack. And I think Jeff Gordon won that night. So it was just that was exciting, to say the least, to see, hey, what just happened here. And then you spend a couple hours or whatnot while they're driving the track, getting their cars ready, and everyone being able to participate and come back and go.
You mentioned that you ran strong at Bristol in May before that late race incident. What do you think about your chances in the All-Star race, given you're the defending night race winner?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a great shot. Like I said earlier, there's not a race where I don't feel like we can show up and win at this point. So the All-Star race is one of them. So I'm excited for it. I think that there is going to be some prestige to going out there and winning a Bristol night race. It doesn't matter whether it's an exhibition in an All-Star race or it's the 500 lap race. You want to win at Bristol, and so that's where our focus will be after we get home from Kentucky, and hopefully it leads us into a great week.
What's your approach mentally and physically for the challenge that Bristol presents?
Well, it won't be too physically challenging because it is so much shorter than a normal Bristol race. The challenge will be recovering from Saturday's race at Kentucky. Anytime we have kind of midweek races, it does take you a day or two to get your hydration levels back to where they need to be. But fortunate for us, this is such a short event that it shouldn't take too big of a toll on us.
Last question. How have you handled the hectic pace of the season with so many races bunched together?
We've really just kind of stuck to our process no matter what the schedule is, and whether we had practice or no practice, we've just stuck to our process preparing for events. And that's really kind of what's given us what we feel like is a success. It's just making sure we're doing all the right things, treating each race with the same amount of importance. And that's been key for us.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time, Denny, and good luck at Kentucky this weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you here at Bristol next Wednesday.
Sounds great. Can't wait to be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.